Hello, everyone. I'm Natalie, and today I'll be presenting the RCA Mark II sound synthesizer. And this was a revolutionary piece of technology that played a pivotal role in shaping the world of electronic music. So let's get into it. So the Mark II was nicknamed Victor at its conception. It was primarily invented by engineers Harry Olson and Herbert Galar, who were at the Radio Corporation of America, RCA at the time. And Olson and Galar wanted to place the Mark II in a university setting, so they chose the Columbia Princeton Music Center, founded by composers Vladimir Ussachevsky, Milton Babbitt, and Otto Luening. So here the synth is pictured with, you can see Babbitt, Ussachevsky, and Peter Mouty, who was another engineer associated both with electronic music, and he contributed to the Mark II as well. And this picture was taken in 1958, shortly after its invention. So let's take a look now at some of the technology behind the RCA Mark II and also its cultural and historical significance that it had on electronic music later on. So as I alluded to before, the Mark II really did epitomize the fusion of engineering and art. It was a collaborative effort between engineers and composers. And this synthesizer used, to talk a little bit about the technology, it used voltage-controlled oscillators, twice as many tone oscillators as the Mark I, because the Mark I was a precursor to the Mark II. So in the Mark II, there were twice as many tone oscillators, high pass and low pass filters, amplifiers, and a tape-based sequencer. So composers like I mentioned before, Milton Babbitt and Vladimir Ussachevsky, they were among the early adopters as they saw the synthesizer's potential for pushing the boundaries of music composition. In fact, using this synthesizer, Babbitt composed his masterpiece Philomel for synthesized sound and soprano. Anyone who took music history, we talked about Philomel in that in music history part 2. So it's just interesting to kind of, connect information from 2 classes. But basically, the synthesizer really found a home in the avant-garde music scene. It really enabled the creation of unique, otherworldly sounds that challenged traditional music norms. So the machine allowed composers to make music with rhythms and tempos that were difficult, if not really impossible, to execute on acoustic instruments alone. So composers of the time credited Victor, or the Mark II, with helping to contribute to a higher technical complexity in music and allowing them really much greater artistic freedom. So wasn't really adopted mainstream. And despite that, the RCA Mark II's innovations really do continue to influence modern electronic music. Today, synthesizers, software instruments, DAWs, a lot of those different instruments and tools to make electronic music owe much of their existence to the pioneering technology of the Mark II. So that's about it. So thank you all for joining me in exploring the RCA Mark II sound synthesizer. Again, it was a groundbreaking technology, and the creative minds behind it have really and truly left an indelible mark on the worlds of electronic music. And this technology continues to inspire musicians and producers to this day. So thank you once again.